Clear prop.
Everything on. Power, 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 power. Lights. Noise canceling. There we go, noise canceling. Love it. Well, hopefully everybody can hear on the GoPro. It's shaking like a son of a gun. So, don't think that's going to change until we get lifted off, and this is probably not a really good place to put a GoPro. So, let's see. We've got the Stratus charging. Lights are on, everything's looking good. I've got good oil pressure, fuel is good, oil temperature, suction, and we're charging. We're going to go ahead and hook up to the Stratus Wi-Fi. Turning on, 3 green, and there it is. And we are connected, and now we open up ForeFlight. And we're going to tune to 123.075 and switch. And we'll go to maps, and it is showing us right there at Tracy. So hopefully all of our cameras are going, lights are all on, everything looks good, parking brake is off, and we are going to taxi. We're going to go ahead and put the flaps up. Flaps are up, and we're going to check the brakes here real quick. Brakes are good. And we'll go ahead and get turned, heading over to runway 30. Let's pick up the ATIS 118375.
Yellow step on the left top of runway 30. 2 Celsius. Dew point 2 Celsius.
So here we are in N1191 Mike. It is a Sunday evening.
Remark.
And we are just going to go up and do a couple of little
200.
takeoffs, landings. We haven't flown in a while.
Tracy Municipal Airport. Automated weather observation.
So just go back up and hang around the pattern a little bit.
Weather. Wind 240 at 14. Peak gust 19er. Visibility 10. Sky condition. No clouds below 12,000. Temperature 32 Celsius. Dew point 2 Celsius. Altimeter 2988.
2988, and we are good. We'll get that out of our ears.
914, be advised 1 minute to parachute activity overhead the field. Now traffic 1 minute.
So we're good on the radios. It sounds like everything's coming down runway 26. So what we're going to do is taxi across to 30 and kind of head over to 26 and fly the pattern. We shall do this. So parking brakes, we'll keep the feet on. Cabin doors. That one is closed and locked. That one is closed and locked. Our window's still open because it's hot. So we'll check our flight controls. So we're seeing up is up and down is down, and ailerons feel good, rudder pedals feel good. We'll go through this and cycle this a couple of times just to make sure everything is good, and that all feels wonderful. Elevator trim, we've got it set for takeoff. Flight instruments, we're going to check. We're on the right altimeter reading. We're going to set our horizon indicator. We're going to make sure that we're pointing almost north on the directional gyro. Turn bank indicator looks good. Everything else looks good. Our fuel gauges are good. We're idling at about 800. We'll kick that up just a little bit. Fuel looks good. Oil pressure looks good. Fuel selector is on both. We're going to go for full mixture rich and throttle up to 1700 RPM. So we're at 1700, going to check our magneto. There's the right, back to both. There's the left, back to both, back to the right. Whoops. We're good. Carb heat. Pull out, see a little bit of drop. We got good vacuum and suction. And engine instruments, amp meter looks like we're charging positive, so we'll pull this back now to 1000 RPM. See the instruments. So all of our circuit breakers are in, we're good there, our radios are set, we're good there, we're squawking 1200, our beacon and our lights are on, the throttle is adjusted, transponder is set to altitude, it'll automatically go when we press function. We're now in altitude reporting. Parking brakes has not been set. Time note, we're going to just hit the timer here so that we know that we are burning fuel, and we are going to go ahead and announce our intentions to stay in the pattern. Close our window, of course, because we don't want that blowing all over the place, and I don't see anybody else on the fore flight in our traffic pattern. So primer's in and locked. Good. We're good. Tracy traffic, White Cessna is going to take runway 26, and we're going to stay in the pattern for left closed traffic, Tracy.
Tracy traffic, yellow Cessna departed the field to the west. Last call, Tracy.
Tracy traffic, White Cessna is on the roll on 26, left close traffic, Tracy. Speed's alive. Play with the squelch a little bit here. We are 70, so we're heading into the wind today because it is a little bit windy. See how it is as we fly here. Tracy traffic, White Cessna is upwind off of 26, left close traffic, Tracy. So everything's looking good, temperature's looking good. And we got lots of nice bright sun in our face. So they're building houses off the end of the runway off of 26 here. It's supposed to be like 4,000 homes. I don't think there's that many, but it's like a lot. Tracy traffic, white Cessna is turning left crosswind off of 26, Tracy traffic. Back on the throttle a little bit here. Kick that visor up. I don't see any other traffic in the pattern. We're up at 800 feet now and getting a few little bounces here and there. Feet. Tracy traffic, white Cessna is going into the downwind, left closed traffic, 26 Tracy. Oh, there's a little bump. So now we are 1,000 feet, pull back on. It's a little windy. And we just kind of kissed, and we'll try to stay center line here. And we'll just do a taxi back. With this K model, unfortunately, you have to hold the flap button up as the flaps retract. Not like some of the newer models where you've got notches and it'll hold it. Carb heat back in. Pull up here and apply some braking, and we'll clear this runway. Get some air back on us. Tracy traffic, white Cessna is clear 26, taxi back, Tracy traffic. So there's a lot of smoke in the air from the fires up in Northern California. It was like really bad earlier this afternoon, and I was not to fly into the smoke, so that's why we've waited until the evening here to be able to do that. And most of the smoke is gone. We just got some wind that we're playing with, but Tracy, because it's so close to the hills coming in from the Bay Area, as you can see with all of the windmill power generators out there, it is a windy little airport at times. So as you can see with ForeFlight here, it's popped up the taxi map, and we are on taxiway Alpha and showing our position. We're going to go ahead and close that now. Hide the plate. Everything's looking good. We're still squawking. Radios are still good. Engine temperature, oil temperature looks good. All that looks good. Tracy traffic, white Cessna is taking active 26, left closed traffic, Tracy. So now we're going to go ahead and check our DG again. Our DG is still looking pretty good. We'll do a little bit of adjustment. Altimeter's still good. Everything's in. Trim set for takeoff. Rotate around here, get our sun visor set. Tracy traffic, white Cessna is on the roll on 26, left closed traffic, Tracy. Little right rudder there, and full throttle, and lock her down. So we're already at 60 miles an hour, 60 knots, and we are up because we've got like almost a 20 knot headwind. Tracy traffic, white Cessna is upwind off of 26, Tracy left closed traffic. And we'll squelch this down a little bit. Be because we don't want it too noisy. Maybe we'll try a little bit of crosswind off of 30 here and see how that goes. Climbing up through 600 feet now. No other traffic noted. There's aircraft 10,000 feet above us. I don't think that we're going to have to worry about. Tracy traffic, White Cessna is left crosswind off of 26. Tracy traffic climbing through 800. This goes up out of the way now so we can see. Kind of a bad angle for the sun tonight to be doing this at this time, but going to continue on with our talk about flying and pursuing your dream. And you know, if you do have a dream, Tracy traffic, White Cessna is into the downwind off of 26 Tracy. Pull back on the power here. We're already at 1100. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, even my age, older, I've been kind of blessed to be able to get back into this in a later point of life. And if it's something you wanted to do, do it. You know, I have such a blast flying, and it is just, once you get up here, what you can see, and then just, for me, it's relaxation, it's therapy. And just to be able to concentrate just on this, on flying, on being the upside up and the downside down, and not have to think about work and other things, it is just kind of a joy to be able to do that. So we're going to go ahead and slow her down, put a little bit of carb heat in. We were doing 113 knots across the ground again. All of our gauges still look good. We are in the white arc area, so we're going to plop in 10 degrees of flaps. Got a little bit of up motion there. My nose wanted to pitch up. Tracy traffic, White Cessna is turning left base for 26, left close traffic, Tracy. We're still at 1,000 feet, and I think we'll probably keep that altitude here until we get in a little bit closer so that our sink rate with the wind coming at us is better than the last one that we did. We had to apply power. We're clear there, Tracy traffic, White Cessna. Set our trim for takeoff. Visor set here. Tracy traffic. White Cessna is on the roll for left close traffic. Off of 30, Tracy. And one of the flaps, and we'll slow her down.
Tracy traffic, Dr. 39546 is about 4 miles south now on the GPS 30.
So we'll get her slowed down here. Well, that was interesting.
And 39546. has the other traffic at Tracy in sight.
And we'll put the flaps up. Carburetor heat in. Lower down, pull the mixture out a little bit. And we will evacuate runway 0. East west 10 and 1. Traffic, White Cessna is crosswind going into the downwind off of 30, crazy traffic. And there we are at 1,000 feet, and there we will probably stay, and we'll just pull the power back and kind of chill. We will arm the autopilot so we can stay at 1,000 feet. That was one of the things in purchasing this airplane, that it had autopilot, that I thought, it's like, oh, this is going to be fun. And it has thus far proved to be a nice feature. And we're doing 111 knots at about 2,300 RPM. Pretty stinking good. Tracy traffic, White Cessna is downwind off of 30, and we are going to be departing to the east, maintaining 1,000 feet, Tracy traffic. Looks like we got all sorts of fun stuff going on over here, though, that there might be a wreck. I don't know if those are just reflections or police lights. We're going to go see. Could just be reflectors, who knows. So we've got the autopilot armed, and see if we can get altitude hold here. I think we've got to end up. And boink. It looks like it's just reflectors. Quite a optical illusion.
Westover, C3 helicopter. 24 is landing runway 19, check to Westover.
Little bouncy. What we're going to do is put it in heading mode. Go ahead and let it turn. And we're holding about 900 feet or so. Go ahead and head to the east. Doing 106 knots at 2,050 RPM over the ground. Insane. flying over Highway 5, major thoroughfare through California from one end of the state to the other, and then also flying over either the Delta-Mendota Canal or California Aqueduct, one of the two here that carries precious Northern California water down to Southern California so they can water their lawns. So we're still holding altitude, still doing 106 knots. We'll slow her down just a little bit, down to 2,000 RPM, trim up a little bit. Doing 104 knots now. Interesting to watch what the autopilot does with the tailwind, keeping us on that course. I'm going to go ahead and tune in local approach here, and we'll just, whoops, 85. There we go. And we'll just listen. Like a whopping 85 degrees outside now. All of our temps look good. Cylinder exhaust gas temperatures all around 1320. On the cylinder head temp, so we're looking good. And we're full rich down this slope. Low and slow. So we're flying out over Central Valley, farming area of California, nuts, fruits. Wineries are out here. This is kind of the San Joaquin River out here. Wintertime it floods quite a bit. There's not a whole lot of a levee around it, but takes lots of water to be able to grow the food. We're going to end up heading a little bit further east here and let the autopilot kind of figure out what's going on. See how it holds it. One of the nice things about flying in the Central Valley of California is that all this farmland, everything is a open opportunity for a landing strip should something ever happen, which is kind of cool. So, nighttime a little bit more challenging, but during the day, it's one of those that it's like, can just about land in you, and there are some roads and things that you can end up following and landing on that there's no power lines or anything like that that you have to worry about. So quite nice. Let's see if we'll look back that direction. I don't see any traffic, but we're going to go ahead. Kind of do a turn back, head north again. The visor down here so we're not blinded. A little bit more power to climb back up to where we were. I've disconnected the autopilot because it was just with the tailwind kind of all over the place. Another 10 minutes, the sun will probably be down behind the hills, and everything will just kind of glow orange at that point. So I don't see any other traffic. I got one behind me at 3,600 feet here on full flight. And everybody heading home on a Sunday night. Yeah, as you can see, heading north where the fires are up above Sacramento, it's just really kind of blown everything down here. It was pretty nasty from about 10 o'clock until probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon. And the ocean breezes started picking up over the hills here that go into the San Francisco Bay Area. But I can kind of hear the wind kind of buffeting things. We're up to about 2,200 RPM now, 80 knots ground speed, so you kind of know we're, what are we, 90 indicated, so 10 knot headwind. Oh, we're down to 74 now, so 15 knot headwind. But one of the reasons that I like flying the 172 is that it is a very stable aircraft. During training time and things like that, we'd go up because I didn't like to fly in the wind and the bumps, and my instructor Lloyd showed me how stable that the plane just basically wants to fly. And so hands-off kind of stuff, use your feet for the rudder control, and just the plane just does a wonderful job as long as you, the pilot, don't screw it up. But stall speed is low, it lands at a fairly slow speed. I've flown one of these things with vortex generators that it was just insane that it wouldn't stall. And that's something that I may end up having put on, but great stable aircraft. So we're heading back into Tracy right now. The sun's going down behind Mount Diablo, which is, I think, about 3,000 feet or so. It gets snow, maybe 4,000. And we've got, right now, 5 GoPro cameras on the plane. I know it's a little excessive, but it's fun. Yeah, there goes the sun. Visor gone. Sweet. So now you can kind of see with the cameras and what's going on. I haven't lost any yet on the wings, so that's good. I've got one on the tail looking down. Hopefully that one is still there. My inside cameras are all still looking pretty good. Looks like we're on there and we're still on there, so have to fly for business. Oh, and we're right over the top of New Jerusalem too. Have to fly for business up to the wine country on Wednesday, so we're going to be doing a recording of that flight, at least up, if we've got enough battery and memory card left. We'll do the back trip as well. So first time up there to Sonoma Sky Park for me. So I know that there is another airport around here that does skydiving that is close to New Jerusalem, and I don't exactly know where it is. So I want to try to avoid that. I don't see any other traffic here on ForeFlight, so everything's up high heading into the Bay Area. Oakland, San Jose, and San Francisco. light on some things here. There, we got some gauge lights. I like steam gauges, whatever they're called. I think that's what everybody calls them, but it's like, I just enjoy them. Panels are great, when you can end up, into ForeFlight, being able to get, this popped up on the screen, for a attitude indicator and showing traffic and everything out there. I mean, it's pretty freaking cool, but I do like the old nostalgia of the gauges as well. Was going for a, I wanted to do vintage Cessna, and so looks like we have. The thing, turn the autopilot off, but this plane is just, it's great. It's trued out. I mean, as you can see, I'm flying along, and because of the wind, we're getting pushed a little bit, but very little directional control input-wise do I have to do with this. Thing just flies straight and true, and once you get it trimmed, it's almost like you're on autopilot. We'll switch back over to Tracy traffic since we're within about 5 nautical miles of the airport. Tracy traffic, White Cessna is about 5 miles northeast, going to be flying over the downtown area, city of Tracy at 1,100 feet, Tracy traffic. They got Amazon out here, big warehouse. This is the Defense Depot that is here in town. So Tracy is growing. I think a little over 80,000. Lots of warehousing out here. This is where Highway 5, Highway 580, 205 intersect. Go over to Highway 99, so it's a great location for freight companies, and thus the traffic sucks. A lot of trucks. But hey, that's my personal opinion. Traffic, White Cessna, we are about a mile from the field and going to be entering traffic for 26 Tracy. We just turned the runway lights on. Hopefully all of our cameras are still recording. And this will kind of be it for the night, because got work tomorrow. But I'd love to stay out. Tracy traffic, White Cessna is in the downwind for left traffic 26 Tracy. There's our airspeed picking back up again because we are with the wind, so we'll trim up here, slow her down. Get about 2,000 RPM on the gauge. And Tracy traffic, white Cessna is turning left base 26, Tracy. Carb out. Everything looks good. We're still not in the white arc for flaps yet. About 2,000 RPM. We are at 1,000 feet. It pushed with the wind, so we're going to kind of keep this up. Tracy traffic, white Cessna is turning final for 26, Tracy full stop. And we are high, but we're still cooking along here. Slow her down, doing 73 knots, but we're still indicating about 100. So, slow her some more, trim up. We're good there, we're in the white arc, and we got 10 degrees of flaps, and we'll pitch here, trim. And now we're coming down, add a little bit more RPM in, around 1,500 here. Control our sync. I got one of the strobe runway end of identifier lights out. It's like they can't even, things working. Alright, we're going to plop in another 10 degrees of flaps here. And on the throttle, slow her down a little bit. Looking good, still got good speed. Over the fence. Slow her down a little bit more. And we'll pull some throttle back and let her settle down. And there we go, and for flight pops up the map that we are on the ground. Now pull flaps up, apply some braking, carburetor heat in, we'll pull the mixture out a little bit here so we don't foul things while we're taxiing around. Unsquelch the intercom a little bit. And we just changed into dark mode. Tracy traffic, white Cessna is clear, 26, Tracy traffic. It's not too what we think. We cover that plus. There, we should make it. You got an element. And it was part of the cell. There's a for it has breath. It gives us a break. So it works clear. And get her somewhat lined up. And then put it in reverse. Ha ha. So hey, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being the co-pilot flying with us, and come back and visit us for some more videos. It's never too old. You're never too old, never too late to start flying. So we're going to shut her down.